On Monday, Alabama Attorney General Luther Strange asked a federal judge to keep same-sex marriage in the state on hold until the U.S. Supreme Court rules later this year. Last month, Alabama became the 37th state to allow same-sex marriage, but the Alabama Supreme Court directed probate judges to stop giving licenses to same-sex couples. In Selma on Sunday, I spoke to the first same-sex couple to marry in Montgomery, Alabama.
My name is Tori Wolf-Sisson, and we're outside of Brown Chapel in Selma, Alabama.
And I'm Shantae Wolf-Sisson, and we're here for Selma weekend.
Shantae and Tori, we're here on the 50th anniversary of the observance of Bloody Sunday. People are talking about voting rights, the right to be heard. This also happens to come a few days after the Alabama Supreme Court has put a halt to marriage equality in Alabama. You were the first couple to get married in Montgomery, the first same-sex couple. Your response to this and how it relates to this weekend?
So it's really hard to tie it together. They're kind of parallel but not really perpendicular issues. And considering the fact that now no other couples can be married, this makes it bittersweet. We're not really able to enjoy the fact that we're married because, one, all of our rights were just stripped, and two, there's so many people who would like to be wed, and that opportunity is no longer there.
Can you talk about marriage equality as an issue of civil rights, which is so much the buzzword this weekend?
Yeah. It's interesting because a lot of the people that want to strip our rights don't really understand what they are. When people talk about marriage equality and same-sex marriages, they think about the sexual nature of it, but they don't really understand what those rights are and what rights we don't have and what rights we're fighting for. So in the state of Alabama, there's no accommodations, protections, there's no, people can be fired for being same-gender loving individuals. I'm missing something, I'm sure, but there's so many things that we don't have. And so marriage equality, that means that if one of us goes to the hospital, I would be able to check on her without any issue. If we wanted to adopt, there's laws on the books that you have to be married to have second parent adoptions, and that's part of like the original deal. So there's a lot of protections that we're not afforded, and people don't understand that when they're trying to deny them.
And looking at it from a civil rights aspect, if you're about liberation, you have to be about liberation for all people. That's the closest that everyone should be able to tie the two together, because often, more so than not these days, people are trying to romanticize, oh, marriage equality is the new civil rights. It is a civil rights issue, but you shouldn't try to replace something that has already happened in history.
Is there any message you'd like to leave with the Alabama State Supreme Court Chief Justice Roy Moore, who told judges not to issue same-sex marriages when it was legal and now, well, has put a halt to same-sex marriage in Alabama?
Let's be clear, for someone with privilege, it makes absolutely no sense to deny anyone else those privileges that you're afforded.
Will you be walking over the bridge today?
Yes.
Tori and Shantae Wolf-Sisson, and that does it for our broadcast. If you want to see our 2 days of coverage of the Selma protests, go to democracynow.org, democracynow.org. Democracy Now! Produced by Mike Burke, Dennis Moynihan, Hani Massoud, Renee Feltz, Arun Mate, Nermeen Sheikh.